How many times have you woken up in the morning and been like, nah, not running today, not gonna happen? Well, yeah, me too. But the important thing is that motivation is a skill that you can learn. You know, I think I have been pretty consistent over running over the last year. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the things that I've learned in the last year that keep me motivated to run. Yeah. So in about 2012, I was hanging out with a lot of people that ran all the time, like triathletes and full-on, nearly pro type people. And back then, I was into running. Somehow, I got talked into running a half marathon, which I did. Trained for it, did the thing, ran it, nailed it. Don't remember my time. I think it was like 2:30. Oh, here's a nice trail. Thing is that after that half marathon, I didn't run again for 2012 to 2023, for 11 years. I lost motivation. I had no goal. I had nothing keeping me going. So, fast forward 12 years. That was 2011. Now it's, 13 years. That was 2011. Now it's 2025. Nope. Even that math is wrong. Did I say 2012 or 2011? I think I said 2012. So that was 2012. Now it's 2025. 13 years later, what's changed besides my knees and being weaker and fatter? Well, the start to racing and running is the same. Now I have new friends, and they're into running too. The difference is now I have a goal, and I have way more motivators, and I'm seriously backlit. So yeah, I want to be healthier and all that, and I want to be with my friends. But now, I also want to run because I want to prove to myself that I can do it at 34 years old, and I want to have my kids see me as, a big healthy dad. That's a pretty real motivator. I'm a husband and a father, and I work like 50 hours a week. So there's pretty much always something that needs my attention, or someone. But when I run, I get something pretty rare. Time to myself. When I run, there's half hour or 2 hours where no one needs anything from me. There's no calls, there's no emails, there's no screaming usually. It's just me and the road. So I found that running really helps me and gives me a time to just clear my head, think through stuff, chill out. That's part of what keeps me motivated to keep running, is that quiet, personal time. Keeps me coming back, for sure. Beyond netting me some selfish, personal time, another thing that keeps me motivated to keep running is to believe that there is a slightly greater purpose than running today or tomorrow, right? I like to believe that my kids will eventually understand that their dad was pretty committed to health and fitness. And I like to believe that I'll just be around longer for them, right? So, it's a pretty motivating thing to think about that, and even think about the inverse. Like, if I'm not motivated to run, am I stealing my health from their future? Am I going to be dependent on them because my health sucks one day because I was lazy today? That's pretty motivating. Another big motivator for me is just seeing progress, right? So I track my runs on Strava and on Runna, and both of those apps give me some sweet check boxes and some little graphs. And dude, I get heavy duty motivated when I see those weekly, monthly, and annual goals just getting checked off, ahead of progress, all these things. Another thing that keeps me motivated right there, just seeing progress. So, like I said, I'm a husband and a dad. So most of my runs happen at 5:30 in the morning. And usually the hardest part is just getting started. But I'll tell you what, you know what's motivating? Is that feeling of accomplishment after I finish a run that I didn't even want to start. That's motivating right there. Because I'll tell you what, dude. Oh, sweet, check this trail out. Tell you what. You'll never regret the runs you do. You will regret the runs you don't do. So, no matter how tough a run is, I always feel better after I do it. Dude, it doesn't matter if my legs are totally thrashed. If I ran, especially if it was a good run like that, I'm feeling good that day in the head, right? My thoughts are clear, my energy is sky high. Even if my legs suck, my energy's sky high. And that keeps me coming back, dude. That runner's high is real. The feeling of mental clarity and freshness after a good run, that's motivating. Let me give you an example of that one, right? So just recently, last Saturday actually, I had a 12-mile run, and it was cold that day for Florida. It was like 35 degrees, and I didn't want to go. Didn't want to go at all, but thought about it, thought about the rest of my day, what that was going to look like, and I knew for a fact that if I pushed it off, I was going to feel like a loser. So, you know what I did? I ran that 12-mile run. How did I feel that day? Awesome. Legs were a little smoked from what I remember. But, ran the run. Did it. Okay, and every time I do that, every time that everything is feeling like it's stacked against me, you know, my don't wanna meter is sky high and it's cold out or it's hot out or whatever. When I run the run anyway, it reminds me that I'm stronger than my excuses. But I'm running like 3 or 4 times a week, right? So how do I keep that from getting boring? Well, pretty simple. Variety. There's a lot of ways to have variety in my running. On a short run, I'll probably listen to music, probably fast music. But on a long run, now I can get creative. Long run, I can do all kinds of routes, I can pick whatever I want. And as for music goes, I might listen to something more cinematic, right? I might listen to a podcast or a book. Because in a long run, I'm going slow. I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna stop and look at stuff, take a picture. No big deal. Variety keeps my running fresh. Keeping it fresh keeps it fun, and keeping it fun is motivating. Another thing that keeps me just coming back for more on running is accountability. I know that my friends are gonna ask me about it if I do or don't run. They're gonna see it on Strava, and if I don't run, they're gonna say, "Hey, where you been? Are you lazy and fat now?" But if I do run, especially if it's a good one, they're gonna be like, "Hey man, good job." So that accountability, that kind of thing right there, that keeps me motivated. I want people to know I'm out there doing it. Can you see the sunset? Can I do this? At the end of the day, like this sunset, motivation isn't about waiting for inspiration or waiting for some magic moment. It's about just going out and doing it. For me, motivation is about building habits, setting goals, and making sure I'm surrounded with the right support system. It's not always easy though. Some days are easy, some days are tough, but every time I push through, I'm glad I did. And every time I find motivation, I'm glad it's there. If you struggle with running motivation, comment, like, subscribe, do the YouTube things. If you don't struggle with motivation, still comment, because you're better than the rest of us. See ya.